Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalren, and the pre-patch for BFA, the patch 8.0, is hitting the servers very soon. To be perfectly clear, on Tuesday for US, Wednesday for EU, unless they change the Wednesday date, the pre-patch is gonna hit, and a few things from Legion that you can collect now are gonna disappear, and new things will happen during the pre-patch. This video is more kind of a guide video on what can you do before pre-patch with the last few days you have left, and what can you do afterwards for all the things that you might be excited or might not be aware of what is expected for the pre-patch. So the first things first, once pre-patch hits, there will be a few achievements, titles, and rewards that you can earn while they are here in Legion. So if you're somebody who wants to make the most out of the last few days, especially on the weekend, these are the things that you can do. Ahead of the curve and cutting edge for Argus the Endmaker, which is the heroic and the mythic versions of the final raid and Taurus, will be retiring. So you can get a mount from completing ahead of the curve Argus the Endmaker heroic version just for finish up the boss, and cutting edge has the perks and the rewards of the mythic version of the raid. If you're somebody who's working on those bosses right now, I say it is time to jump your raids into high gear and get those while they're available. If you're somebody who does professions, the first 8 achievements will also be moved into legacy achievements that will not be obtainable if you are somebody who does professions. Legion Elite PvP sets, which are the sets you gain once you reach 2k rating in any of the brackets, will not be available. So if you want to get the titles, get your rating now and buy those pieces as soon as possible, transmogs will become unobtainable once pre-patch hits. Any Mage Tower appearances will also be retiring once the patch 8.0 hits. So if you're somebody who wants to get you Mage skin for your artifact weapon while you have your empowered artifact weapons from the Silithus questline, I say it is high time to get yourself some gear, maybe see if you can farm a few Legos, and take another stab at the Mage Tower. Both ASHRAN and Strand of the Ancients will also be retiring apparently for the pre-patch, so if you have any achievements in those areas, you're more than welcome to do them. Although I doubt a lot of people will be excited for ASHRAN, some people were fairly excited for Strand of the Ancients. There's a few other things that are retiring as well, like pet charms, and they are adjusting your prestige rewards for the honor levels. But for the most part, that's really about everything that is big and important that is retiring once pre-patch 8.0 hits. So, what is there to do once pre-patch 8.0 hits? Well, there's a couple things. The first one will be the obvious one, the Burning of TELDRASSIL storyline. I did not finish Burning of TELDRASSIL, but from the few minutes that I did end up starting the questline, it already gave me these Warcraft 3 chills of the Horde versus Alliance storyline. Just seeing a bunch of wisps just circling themselves and flowing towards the tree is insanely cool to look at. The music, the narration, the characters, and just the appeal of a Horde versus Alliance conflict got me really excited. And while I'm a huge fan of the story for the Warcraft universe, there is also rewards for completing it. By completing the storyline of Burning of TELDRASSIL, you will earn a faction-specific mount, there will be a Horde-specific mount of a bat, and a Hippogriff mount for the Alliance. This piece of content will be only available to anybody who purchased Battle for Azeroth, and if you purchased it, you can access it 1 week before the launch of BFA, so you'll be able to try out the storyline and get your mounts a week before BFA comes out. So this is something that will come in, I guess, at a later time. A couple other changes that come in with BFA, if you're somebody who wants to do any group content. For raids, personal loot is going to be the default method of loot distribution. No more can you use Loot Master. So if you have a raid right now, or a raid group that does Taurus, let's say, every day, you're more than welcome to try this out to see how RNG this is and if you like the system or don't like it. WARMODE is also going to be accessible on the patch 8.0, which is a new way for World PvP. It basically puts World PvP into its own game mode, which allows you a few things. In the open world, you will see players with WARMODE and you'll be able to attack them. That means that not every server is going to be a PvP server. To turn on World PvP, you have to turn it on from your capital cities. You also get a 10% increased experience towards honor, gold, and resources, world quests, and experience. So you can level faster while WARMODE is on, but you will have a target on your back. You also get access to PvP talents out in the open world, which can change gameplay quite a bit. Another feature that has been implemented is guild UI changes and communities. Communities basically think of Discord being kind of added into World of Warcraft, although Blizzard says they're not trying to compete with Discord. whatsoever. So I feel like this is something that a lot of groups will be able to utilize. I feel like I will put together a World of Warcraft community for anybody that enjoys my type of content, anybody who's subscribed to the channel. We do use Discord pretty regularly, so that is basically my community hub, but it'd be kind of nice to have something like that in the game implemented. Communities offers a lot of different options, as you can set a bunch of different communities like with Discord servers. So you can have a raid guild community, you have your Mythic Plus group community, you can have your just friends and family community, PvP buddies community, so you can have a bunch of these communities and invite people to it. I'm actually excited to see how this will work out, and I feel like it'll be great to have 1 month ahead of BFA in order to explore on this type of feature, especially for somebody who does videos and has a audience that I want engaged in and enjoying the content. And onto more cosmetic rewards, orcs will have an ability to have an upright posture. They're also changing a few things when it comes to haircuts, and blood elves will have the golden eyes as a customization. So if you're somebody who plays blood elves or orc, you might have to pop into the hairdresser and make a few adjustments to customize your character. Past that, we also have the shaman fire and earth elementals getting an update towards their models, which actually is a pretty nice model, since I feel like these haven't been updated in a long while. And you might have not noticed it, but the guardian for the frost mages, the water elemental, also got a slight update, but you might not even notice it that much. Past this, you get the pretty big item level squish and the stat squish all across the board. So you might see your character not quite running around with a couple million health, but maybe down to a few thousand. So this is actually pretty exciting, and this is one of the things I enjoy about BFA. With that said, also the numbers that you'll be able to output on trained dummies is also going to be different. Artifact weapons are also disabled. Class changes is something that is going to be a pretty big part of BFA, so when you get a chance, just log on every single character that you are even planning on playing for BFA and just smack a trained dummy a couple times. I feel like that way you'll be able to figure out how the classes plays, maybe figure out some different talents. Of course, if you're somebody who has some high-end gear like mythic gear, mythic trinkets, mythic anything, those items might be overtuned. So I wouldn't really watch and take those numbers too closely, especially when it comes to external sources that are not class related. There's a lot of these external sources that are a little bit too strong on the pre-patch, and I'm gonna guess that once pre-patch hits past the PTR on the live servers, it is gonna be very similar situation. With all the class stuff comes class changes as well as class buffs. Now a lot of the classes bring specific buffs that apply to the groups. For mages we have Arcane Intellect, for warriors we have Battle Shout, and for priests we have Power, Ward, Fortitude, which are the buffs a lot of you guys remember from back in the day. You also have debuffs that only 2 classes apply, and that's Monk and Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunters apply Chaos Brand, which makes it so that all magic damage that the enemy takes is going to be increased by 5% just from touching the enemy. Same thing for Monks, it's going to be Mystic Touch, which weakens the target, making them take 5% more physical damage. So bringing a Demon Hunter and a Monk into a raid, I feel like is almost going to be required. A lot of other classes have gotten a few abilities back as Blizzard's trying to de-prune some classes. Demon Hunters have a Purge mechanic, which is very similar to what Death Knights had for a bit, and what Shamans have right now. Mages have removed Curse, which is back on the bars. Hunters and Druids both can dispel enrages with Soothe. Druids get Hibernate, for example, back. And abilities to redirect threat are going to be a lot more useful for rogues and hunters, as the tank threat is going to take a hit a little bit for BFA. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I very much hope you enjoyed. Let me know which parts are you excited for BFA in 8.0. Hopefully you find this video at least somewhat useful way to start off the pre-patch, or as a video to kind of get things rolling ahead of time. If you want to make sure to favorite this video ahead of time and then pull it back up once pre-patch hits, I think that'll probably be the best way to utilize this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, all that good jazz. Hit the notification bell if you're gonna subscribe, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.